How's it going, everybody? Sunday Bible study. If you're on Facebook, if not, hopefully you're just watching these from the playlist. Let me get them set up. All right, so off we go. Continuing on in Acts 30 and Paul's story of how he is escaping death in Jerusalem and heading to he's going to be heading to Rome. But when I was informed of the plot to kill him, I immediately sent him on to you. This is a letter written by one of the Romans of why he's sending Paul to him. I've told his accusers, I have told his accusers to bring their charges before you. So that night, as ordered, the soldiers took Paul as far as Antipatris. They returned to the fortress next morning. While the mounted troops took him on to Caesarea, they arrived in Caesarea. They presented Paul and the letter to Governor Felix. He read it and then asked Paul what province he was from. Cilicia, or Cilicia, Cilicia, Paul answered. I will hear your case myself when your accusers arrive, the governor told him. The governor ordered him kept in prison at Herod's headquarters. Prisons back then weren't like prisons today. He was probably very comfortable. He just couldn't go anywhere. 5 days later, Ananias, the high priest, arrived with some of the Jewish elders and the lawyer Tertullus to present their case against Paul to the governor. When Paul was called, and Tertullus presented the charges against Paul in the following address to the governor. You have provided a long period of peace for us Jews with the foresight have enacted reforms for us. So let me read that again. You have provided a long period of peace for us Jews and with foresight have enacted reforms for us. Okay. And now we will get into our Revelation study. It is going to be all of Revelation 4 today. So this is after the 7 letters. And after this, I looked, and behold, this is John's vision. He's in heaven. His vision is, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet talking with me, which said, come up here, and I'm going to show you things which are going to take place hereafter. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. So this is his vision. He's seeing all of this. And he that sat was to look upon, of course, this would be God, the sovereign God, to look upon like jasper and a sardine stone. And there was excuse me, there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. And round about the throne were 24 seats. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders clothed in white raiment. And they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Now the 7 throughout Old and New, or throughout the Old and then really in Revelation is where we see it. They're for cleansing. Oh, excuse me. It's like that purification number of purity and or to be purified or to be cleansed. So the reason why there were 7 letters to the 7 churches, the 7 candlesticks, and so on and so forth, so far in the book of Revelation, is because the church is about to be cleansed at these end times. That's what all the 7s are about in the book of Revelation until you get to the wrath of God and all the 7s. Then it's about purifying and or cleansing the earth through his wrath, trumpet, bowl, vial judgments. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes, seeing in front of it and behind it. And the first beast was like a lion, the second beast like a calf, the third is a man, the fourth was like a flying eagle, and the 4 beasts each had of them 6 wings, and they were full of eyes within, and they did not sleep. And they said, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. And when those beasts give their glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, the 24 elders then fall down before him that sits on the throne, and they worship God, him that liveth forever and ever, and they cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Man has no free will. Everything is for God's good pleasure. I'm glad you're here. I love it very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.